Hi, everybody. This is Gene Martinson, and welcome to the Garrett Williams pregame show. And with me right now, the head coach of the Hilltoppers, Garrett Williams. And so, Garrett, very, very frustrating game last week between the penalties and miscues. And you had talked about that before, the last time we talked, that the miscues were killing you guys. And, Jesus, that game was we were in that ball game for 3 quarters. It was anybody's ball game. In fact, we should have gone in at half up 14-3. Yep. And another, crazy turnover.
Well, once again, you want to make sure that you keep the control in your hands. And we did. We just several times, just not finishing when we need to. Got on the 1 yard line and got a holding penalty that backed us up. Miss a block, throw an interception on the I think 2 plays later. So you go from getting a touchdown called back because we were in the end zone to getting a turnover. But you're right. We were 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, it's a 14-16 ball game.
Exactly.
With 2 touchdowns that have been called back. We had 2 touchdowns called back at that point, and it's still 14-16. And once again, the turnovers will kill you. We lost. Had a hit out of bounds that took out our starting quarterback. Big T. Nieto was down, playing pretty limited with a sprained knee. So didn't play a whole lot the second half. And, had some kids come in, and, Nico Garcia came in, did a great job at running back. Kyle Evenhuss came in, our sophomore quarterback, and really did a pretty good job, both of them.
Yes, he did.
Kyle does a great job. He throws the ball well. He's still kind of learning the ins and outs of everything about just when to take what's given. Our offense is kind of based on a lot of the, options and RPOs, the run pass options. Everything we have has a couple options built into it. And so, we're trying to get those guys, even Zach, to, take advantage of all those options that you're given. But Kyle did a great job of just coming in and throwing the ball. He had 130 yards passing, 28 yards passing, something like that. Stidham had 130 something yards passing. It just really did a great job, especially that third quarter. It did a great job moving the ball. I'll tell you what, Kenny Suazo, our little slot receiver, has had 3 just phenomenal games for us. And Kyle just kept finding Kenny in the middle of the field. We were running some routes into the middle of the field because they were kind of bailing out deep with their safeties. And, he just did a great job and just kept finding Kenny in the middle. But once again, we had, about the end of the middle of the fourth quarter, we get backed up. We do a good job, hold them on defense, do a good job, get the ball from them. Kyle got a little bit of pressure, and we ended up throwing a pick 6 right there on the goal line. So they score, they go up, kick off, and the very next play, we run option, which has been one of our best plays so far. They kind of string it out, and we bounce one off Nico right on the sideline. Probably should just eaten it and just played the next play, but we ended up getting a fumble right there, and then they go down and score on us. So that right there, just those two plays right at about the middle of the fourth quarter, just wheels fell off. You get 2 turnovers on your own end that result in 2 scores when you're in it, and it just kind of hit us. And and like I said, up until that point, had done pretty good. Had 2 touchdowns already called back. But regardless, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're, we talked to our guys the last 2 weeks about, we got to finish in the red zone. We got to finish on the goal line, and execute. So we don't get in those situations. The last 2 weeks have been stuffed, like 4th and 1, and had a penalty that put us behind the chains at that point. That's just something you can't do. The kids did it. They play hard. They are playing good. They're moving the ball. They're playing defense like crazy. We just got to make sure to keep it out of do what we need to do to keep it out of the refs' hands, because if we give them an opportunity to throw a flag on us, right now we're gonna get one, right? So it's just the way it is, and they're playing hard, man. These kids are playing hard. They're playing good. We're giving ourselves opportunities, but we're also kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, which is just something you don't want to do.
Well, there was yellow all over the field for most of the game, and so. But the one thing that you really hate to see is that when you're ready for halftime, and then Mick Matuzak, the trainer, comes around with his little buggy, and he loads up Zach Stidham and T. Nieto and Wes Frazier, all in his little cart, to take them to the training room there in the field house.
All in about 2 series. So man, those are hard things to keep fighting through. But those kids, like I said, those kids came in and did a good job. It's just gotta finish. That
third quarter, when Kyle came in to take over as quarterback, and then we scored. Got that one drive. We scored 2 plays.
Yep.
That beautiful run by Nico Garcia, and then a 22-yard perfect pass by Kyle into the end zone. And
to Nico. That was a good drive.
So yeah, it was a great drive, and Kyle, he did a really good job at quarterback. I thought his whole second half. It's just that he just made some decisions he shouldn't have, which is going to happen. He's only a sophomore. Yeah. Of course, that pick 6 was just a lucky fluke, and they threw the ball, and that Elijah Rodriguez, he just happened to be right there, and I couldn't believe that Elijah had two interceptions, but that one was that pick 6 was just a gimme. I mean, we were backed up in the end zone. I think we're on the 10-yard line. Yeah.
Got a little bit of pressure, and Kyle does a great job of just keeping plays alive and extending them because he's a good athlete. And kind of rolled out to his right. We were on Tripp's left, so the only guy he had over there was Malachi. Malachi just kind of sat down in open void. He was like, well, those guys trust, especially those young guys. He trusts Malachi. Malachi's had a couple pretty good games, and did kind of the same thing at the end. We had another interception right at the end of the 4th quarter that cost again because he trusts Malachi to go fight for one, and he put it up in the end zone right into about 3 other guys, and they came down with it. And kind of, we're just trying to get him to the point where he understands, hey, I'm not just gonna hey, here's Malachi, I'm just gonna put one up to him. Read the play, read the coverages, take your time, because you're good enough athlete. If it's not there, you're good enough athlete to extend the play if you need to, and then come back to stuff. So, he's worked hard at that. The last couple of weeks, has done a good job coming in, and he's gonna do a good job. That kid can throw the ball. He puts it on the money. We just got to get him to take his time, read the play. Read what's called. Take the options that are presented to him and just go. because I mean, like I said, he's a sophomore. He's gonna push it, and at that point, as a sophomore, I want him to push the pace. I want him to, be an athlete, go make plays, and he's gonna make some mistakes. That's okay. We just want him to be, hey, don't dwell on that. You're just sophomore. Just learn from it. Just move on, because he's a great athlete and he's going to do a lot for us. So.
Well, I was very impressed with it. It was a very inauspicious start for you guys. You start off and we kick off to them because they won the toss and deferred. So we kick off to them, and then, they kick off to us. And so, we're kind of deep on our own territory, but Zach Stidham was a quarterback at the time, and at first, both series, the first two series, it looked like Zach was kind of nervous but he was rushing things a lot. And so we went 3 and out, and then did not have a very good punt. And then they ended up, they just zoomed down into the red zone. And I thought, oh, God, here we go. And then the defense just came up and just came to life, forced a field goal, which they got. And then the next series, they kicked off again, and it was the exact same thing again. We had 3 and out, not a very good punt, but this time we held them. So, they had 2 golden opportunities to really put that game away in a hurry.
Yeah.
But the defense said no way and stopped them. So I was very, very impressed with that, because I thought at the beginning, oh my God, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But,
well, and that's the deal. I mean, our focus, and that's been the focus this week, once again, protect the ball, no turnovers, and finish in the red zone. Execute in the red zone. So, believe me, we have spent a lot of time inside that 20-yard line during practice this week and last week, just practicing on finishing in the red zone. Our guys do a pretty good job moving it in the open field. We got athletes that can, that can move the ball in the open field. It just gets down to, when it's time to punch it in, you gotta, buckle down and punch it in. So that's, without giving yourself a hold or doing something that you just don't need to do.
Well, this afternoon, you got another tough one. You're going to go up against St. Michael's, and here at St. Michael's. And so the St. Michael's, of course, coming off of a big victory last week over Santa Fe. Of course, they really played that up in the New Mexican, but it turned out, Santa Fe is just not doing very well at all. And St. Michael's had no trouble with them at all. And so it's going to be interesting. Marcus Leyva, their running back, he scored 4 touchdowns. Zach Martinez was their quarterback, and he and Jake Katko. Jake Katko is, by the way, is my son-in-law is Mike Katko. And he's broadcast with me before, and he does the MCs at the Hall of Fame. So, but that's his nephew.
Yep.
So. Anyway, they've been jockeying quarterbacks back and forth between Zach Martinez and between Katko to see who's going to get the job, and so they put together a pretty good attack last week, but they really it was just no contest from the beginning.
No, they're a pretty typical St. Mike's football team. They're physical. They're physical up front, have a good offensive line. And just play solid football. They're gonna run the ball, a lot of counter power type run game, and then play action, pass, boot passes to kind of try to keep you off balance a little bit. And so that's been their MO for a long time. With Coach Fernandez. So very typical. Smash mouth, hard nose, St. Mike's team. And, the kids on our team, we played these guys a lot they grow up playing them in middle school and JV, and so we've seen these guys a lot. They run the same defense that they've run for years. They're gonna man up and try to control you up front. With us, especially now, we're gonna have Teague back. We're gonna have Stidham back. Those guys are healthy this week. We've kind of come off. We've had a bunch of guys sick here and there. I don't know what's going through town, but or school. We've had a bunch of guys, but we've had a bunch of guys back the last few days. Got those guys who were kind of banged up back. So it's going to be it's going to be a good game. We got our guys back. They got their guys. It'll be a good game, just like last year. I think it's going to be a hard-nosed game. Everybody trying to, with good run games, or we can kind of get established. And, we got, like I said, we got kids like, like Kenny Swazzle, Jorgensen, out on the perimeter that can really get some things done on offense. But I think defensively, we match up pretty good with these guys.
Well, last year that was really a hard-nosed, hard-fought battle.
It was.
And a very, very good ball game. Joey Fernandez, he lost his start. He stopped his QB1 right off the bat in the season. But he had three more quarterbacks, young kids. So he just kept jockeying all three of them. He kept rotating every time a few plays in the next series come out, and there'd be a new quarterback. And so the thing I thought was interesting with Joey was that he kept jostling quarterbacks. But the thing is that it seemed like every time they came out in almost a different set. Every time they came out of the huddle, so he likes to mix it up a lot, and so. But now it's come back to two quarterbacks, and from the way it sounded, I would expect Zach Martinez to start because he engineered that last drive against Capital where they won the ball game right at the end of the ball game, and then he had a really good game last week.
Yeah,
of course,
he played the majority of the game last week, so
yes.
That's kind of what we're expecting.
Yeah, so that's what should be too. And then you're talking about being healthy, and so Teague and Zach are okay, and Wes Fraser.
Wes still kind of dealing with it with his ankle. Teague's feeling better. Stidham, they've worked out the last 2 days, and have done pretty well. So, we're hoping everybody just stays healthy. If we can just stay healthy and just, like I said, take care of the ball. We've talked all week about just doing things, that we can just take care of the ball, make good kind of control our passing game, take shots when we need them. But just work, just control the ball, take care of ourselves, and do what we need to do. And if we do that, we're going to be okay. It will turn this thing into a good game.
So the running back, Marcus Leyva, he had a really good game against Santa Fe. But so what? Do you expect any problems with Leyva this afternoon, or? He hasn't had a big breakout game until last week.
Yeah. He's a tough kid, but I think we just gotta control that run game, and that's what we do. That's what we do best right now is controlling the run game with our up front guys and our linebackers, because those are that's kind of the core of our D right now. So it'll be good. We just, like I said, we got to make sure we don't. I think as long as we don't make turnovers, I think we're gonna be all right.
So you're gonna be starting Zach at the quarterback?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back playing Q. We'll play both those guys though, I'm sure. Just trying to keep him healthy. For the rest of the season. So we'll just see how it goes. But right now he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, so it's a shame in that ball game too that we lost Teak so early.
Yeah, shoot, when you got a guy like that, man, that hurts.
Oh yeah, big strong running back like Teak.
That hurts.
And so next thing you know, because we noticed, of course, it was obvious, of course, but Nico came in for Teak, and then, which was at first, we thought, well, it was a normal substitution, but then it was obvious that Teak was not coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just Nico. So we thought, well, obviously there's something wrong with Teak,
Yeah.
and we were hoping. And then when they did the same, when they came back out for the second half, Zeke came out, Teak came out with Wes Fraser. We didn't see him come out, but we thought, well, there's Zeke and Teak, so. Yeah, I mean Zach and Teak, and so we thought, well, it'll be interesting to see if they're going to play. But of course, they just came back as spectators in the second half. So it's a bummer when you go into a ball game like that and you got a good combination of quarterback, running back, and then both of them go down. That's bad.
That's tough, man. Yeah, I mean that's tough for anybody, but. We wanted to make sure those guys are healthy. We need those guys coming up, especially in districts. So, just want to make sure. Like I said, we got guys that we can roll. So, we just want to make sure those guys are doing what they need to do and take care of everybody and roll the guys that we can and get those young dudes prepped a little bit and give them some shots. So, they did a good job. It's just. Make sure we don't turn that ball over.
Yeah, that was the big thing too. Is that you even talking before we talked about? You said to shoot yourself in the foot, and I even made the comment that we're beginning to run out of toes here. So, and it's just a shame because without those miscues, we would have been in that ball game right down to the very end.
Oh yeah, like I said, we. Got, one called back on the one, got a big pass from Kenny that he broke, called back, and, there's two right there that I thought we should have had regardless, but, gotta come back from those.
Well, the one thing that really frustrated me was that they were throwing the flag like crazy. And then I think it was Malachi got tangled up with one of the Capitol defenders at the secondary, and they got tangled up. And I think it was Malachi, I believe. He was on his knees, and a Capitol player popped him. I mean, he popped him, and the referee looking right at it. He took a swing at him.
We missed that. Zach took a shot on the sideline. He kind of pulled up, took a shot on the sideline. We put him out. And that's, that's. I don't know what you do about that. We send film in. They can see that kind of stuff on the film. But you just want to make sure protect your dudes. Take care of your guys.
When they're throwing flags like that, and then they miss a call like that, I couldn't believe it. But anyway. So the business of hand today is St. Michael's.
That's right.
And so I want to wish you all the luck, and should be a good afternoon for football, and we're really looking forward to it. We had a great game last week, and so if you guys put everything together, I think we're going to do just fine.
I do too, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, Garrett. Well, thanks for coming over and chatting with us. Appreciate it. This is Gene Martinson. Been talking with head coach Garrett Williams, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be Los Alamos High School football versus the St. Michael Horsemen, an old rival from way back. Bye-bye, everybody. Awesome.
Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win. So go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public, as well as the playgrounds and facilities, while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamosschools.net website. If you click on the safety and wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying or whether it's a suspicious person on campus or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today. And I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Greetings, Hilltoppers. I'm Brian DeAndrea of TechSource Incorporated. We are a science and engineering consultancy headquartered in Los Alamos, and for over 20 years have been providing the hard-won knowledge and skills from this community to organizations around the nation. It is our pleasure to support Los Alamos and Hilltopper sports. Good luck and have fun. Go Hilltoppers!
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Go Hilltoppers!
We understand the challenge of explaining to kids that money doesn't grow on trees. At Los Alamos Schools Credit Union, we have all of the tools you need for your kids to learn good financial habits. We offer a free student checking account with debit card, 24/7 online banking, and great member service to help you and your family's finances stay on track. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school bonus deposit with every new student checking account open before October 1st. Grow with us at Los Alamos Schools Credit Union for people, not profit.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sullivan Field, and welcome to Los Alamos High School Homecoming 2022. And we are here at Sullivan Field as the Hilltoppers in their homecoming game. They're ready to take on an old rival from just down the road, the Pojoaque High School Elks. And we're just about ready here, I think. Well, here comes the ROTC crew, big ROTC crew here tonight for homecoming, and they will be marching out. We'll have the national anthem in just a bit. But tonight it's going to be the Hilltoppers going up against the Pojoaque Elks. The Pojoaque has not won a ball game this year. They are 0-2. Last week they played Santa Fe Indian School, and that game was finally called up because of lightning, and they didn't finish enough of the game, so they just finally declared it as a no contest. So originally they had called it a 0-0 tie, but now it's no longer even in the record. They just finally declared no contest. The Hilltoppers coming into the ball game, they won their first one. They won that one big against Espanola, but they've been struggling with the last three as they've had some pretty staunch opponents on their last three games. Last week they went to St. Michael's and faced probably the best team in 3A. It might be one of the best teams in the state. But right now we are having national anthem, so I'm just going to pause here for just a bit. crowd, that is the conclusion. We had a singer for the national anthem here this evening, but for the Hilltoppers coming into the ball game, they won the big game. They won big against Espanola. Then they traveled over to Taos. Actually, had to play in Cuesta. That was a 2-day affair because of the lightning. They played on Friday night, went back and played the second half on Saturday night, and Taos won that ball game up there in Cuesta. Beautiful complex up there in Cuesta, but Taos scored on the last play of the game to win by 7. And then the following week, the Capital came to town here. It was a hard-fought game for 3 quarters, but then Capital took over in the 4th quarter. And last week, of course, the juggernaut, the St. Michael's High School Horsemen, they were, what an unbelievable team they have. Offense, defense, I mean, they just flat did it all, and that's all there is to it. But tonight is going to be the Hilltoppers against the Pojoaque Elkettes, and this is homecoming Elkettes between the Elks, and this is homecoming. And so everybody pumped up, big homecoming. It's been a great homecoming week for Los Alamos, as the Hawker soccer teams have been very, very successful. The girls started things off on Tuesday night as they took on a very, very good Rio Rancho team from Rio Rancho, and everybody was really touting up Rio Rancho. It was supposed to be quite a powerhouse, but the Hilltoppers won that ball game 2-1. So congratulations to the girls. And then last night, last evening, the Hilltopper girls traveled to Albuquerque to take on St. Pius. Won that ball game 1-0. And here at Sullivan Field, the Hilltopper boys took on St. Pius, and they won that one 1-0 also. The goal for Los Alamos coming from Ty Hinojosa. So we're about to have this is Gene Mortensen along with Debbie Katko, and it's going to be our pleasure to bring this ball game here tonight. And right now we have the teams out onto the field. The captains out on the field. So we're going to have the game toss. That's what they've been doing now, is they usually come out and have the toss really early while the teams are warming up. But lately what they've been doing is wait until they get all the ceremonies over, and then just before the start of the ball game, they'll come out and with the toss. So we'll be trying to pick up who the toss here at Los Alamos the last 2 weeks has received. Capital won the toss and deferred. Los Alamos won the toss last week, and they elected to receive. And in both games, the start of the ball game for the Hilltoppers was a disaster, as they had 2 3-and-outs before they could finally get in the groove. So we'll see who is the captains for Los Alamos, by the way, are Tic Nieto, and along with Luke Gonzalez, and then also out there for the Hilltoppers is Zach Sorskaw. And then we have one of the members of the homecoming court who's on the injured list, and his little band is covering the number. So, but anyway, we're waiting for the toss. This is and they certainly are taking their time, I must say. So a lot to talk over, I guess, on homecoming night here, and so they will let Pojoaque call it, since they are the visitors, and his referee's still talking to everybody. So I think they're actually there. He finally does make the throw, and so let's see who has won the toss. And I believe he's going to indicate that. I think he's going to indicate Los Alamos has won the toss, but Pojoaque anyway I think Los Alamos won the toss and deferred. But they will kick off to Pojoaque. Pojoaque will defend the east goal here at Sullivan Field, and the Hilltoppers will defend the west goal to start things off. The starting lineup for Los Alamos at wide receiver is Alex Paluca. He is a junior. Kyler Young is a tackle on the left side. He is a junior. Also a junior guard on the left side, Elijah Alvarez. The center for Los Alamos is Diego Hinojosa. Right guard, Rick Ray. The right tackle, Zach Schwarzkopf, and the wide receiver is Melanie is Malachi Gutierrez. In the backfield for Los Alamos, they have Kenny Suazo and the slot, and Hayden Jorgensen in the slot. The tailback or fullback is Zeke Nieto as they run out of the spread, and the quarterback is Zach Stidham. And we're about ready to go here as the Hilltoppers will kick off. They put the ball over on the right, on all the right hash marks. Hayden Jorgensen will make the kick for Los Alamos. And the sun just setting over down behind the Jemez Mountains. There's a lot of sun on the field before that, but it just now set. So it's a perfect night for high school football. A high kick, and that's going to bounce around. The ball is loose. That's a free ball. It was a high kick, came down around the 35, took a very high bounce, and nobody was able to grab it. So finally there was a scramble right there on the sideline at the 35, and it looks like Pojoaque has recovered. But that is a free ball. Once that ball is kicked, it's a free ball, and that's so so Pojoaque will start things off for. So they also going to come. They're going to line up. They're going to be in a pistol, and as they line up, ready for the snap, and the quarterback is a handoff over their right side. The quarterback for Pojoaque is Adam Pacheco. So Adam hands it off. The tackle made for Los Alamos made by Kyler Young. So Kyler Young on the right side. So they pick up maybe 2 yards, barely 2 yards. So Adam Pacheco he's back there. They stand back there in that pistol. They're running out of a pistol, and Pacheco's going to throw long pass down the sideline, and he has intended that now for Luke Pacheco. So Adam Pacheco to Luke Pacheco, and he overthrows him. And good coverage that time for Los Alamos. Back downfield by Abraham Sanchez was right there for the Hilltoppers, step for step. But the pass was overthrown anyway, so that'll bring up third down in about 8 for the Elks. They line up in that pistol, and Pacheco, and behind him, Brandon Martinez. There's a quarterback draw, and he's going to be very close to the first down as he gets it across the 45-yard line. He needed to get up to about the 47. I'm not sure if he made that, but it looks like it's going to be fourth down. And then let's see, coming off the bottom of the pile for Los Alamos, and it looks like Jackson Blair. So they're all gathered around the ball, both teams. I'm not sure what they're discussing here, and the official now is saying run the clock. So at any point so they move it up now to the 46-yard line, and it's fourth down and 1. And so let's see what Pat Maris, the head coach of Pojoaque, decides to do here in this 4th and 1 situation. He may go for it, but now they are coming out in their normal pistol set with 3 wide receivers on the right, 1 on the left. I don't know if they're going to try to draw Los Alamos off. That looks like what they're trying to do. And so that's what they were trying to do. So they give up on that and end up calling a timeout. So Los Alamos had to be expecting that. And, of course, what happens now is that Pojoaque has just wasted a timeout. So not the best move in the world. You're all the way back on your own 46-yard line. You have a yard to go, and then you're going to try the hard count situation, and you certainly know that the other team is expecting exactly that, and nobody's going to jump offside. So they tried that, didn't work. So now they will be kicking it away after we come out of the timeout. The ball on the 46-yard line in Pojoaque territory, and it's fourth down situation, 4th and 1, and that was the first. So they take Pojoaque with 10:17 remaining. So have under 2 minutes gone in the ballgame. Pojoaque is now down to 2 timeouts. But they come out and line up in that pistol again. So I imagine they would shift into punt formation unless they're going to try another hard count situation. Well, they decide to go for it, and they're going to pick up the first down the left sideline. And he is on the way, boy. That's Elias Martinez. And they pulled him down around the inside the 5-yard line. Wow. So they come out after trying to pull Los Alamos off on the hard count and call timeout. Come out of the timeout. Everybody expects them to punt. They line up in the pistol formation, and Jackson Blair saved the touchdown. And they just handed the ball off that time to Elias Martinez, and Martinez just took off down the left sideline, and he was essentially untouched all the way. So from the 46-yard line, and they make it all the way down to about they see it looks like the 4-yard line, or the 5-yard ball on the 5-yard line. So essentially a 50-yard run for Martinez, and Pojoaque right now knocking on the door, and there's the Pacheco fakes the handoff and then rolls around to the right, and Hilltoppers on the right side of the line waiting for him there, and they blow him down. That is Nico Garcia. So Nico Garcia makes the stop, but it's and essentially no gain on the play. The ball's still at the 5-yard line in Hilltopper territory. So boy, a good start for Pojoaque. And so right again, the same situation in the back. Pacheco, the quarterback. The ball is going to come to him. He's going to roll back. He has a man wide open in the end zone, but they blow the whistle. I think we're going to probably have a false start. Let's see what the official is going to come up with here. And this is going to be very costly. Yeah, we're going to have a false start against the Pojoaque. That's going to cost them 5 yards. That'll move them back 10 yards. So that's going to be now 2nd down and goal from the 10. And he had a man wide open over in the left side of the end zone. Nobody picked him up. But the false start cost them 5 yards. So Pacheco, Hilltopper showing blitz at this point. Pacheco dropping back. Here comes the blitz. And boy, I mean, they are running him down. There's the passes, and the passes upfield. But it goes incomplete, but they came with the blitz. And boy, they had everybody. And the Ethan Chavez was the intended receiver, but boy, I mean, everybody from Los Alamos, I mean, everybody came in. They just sent the bus. And right away, Adam Pacheco was on the run. He didn't have, he was going to roll back and pass, but the next thing he knew, he was running for his life, and he somehow got the pass away down the right sideline, but that goes incomplete, so that's going to bring up now second down and goal. So Pacheco, once again, we're going to have looks like a flag. Let's see as they stop play again. Let's see what they come up with here. I don't know. Everybody just kind of milling around, and so they stopped the clock, and now the official says, "Let's go." So for some reason they stopped it. I don't know why, to correct something. I don't know what, but anyway, now we're ready to go once again as Pojoaque goes into a little mini huddle really fast. And now they come out and they're sitting now at 2nd down. And the ball is up at the 5-yard line and rolling to his right. Pacheco hands it off to Elias Martinez, trying to come around the right side, and he can't get around Jackson Blair. So Jackson Blair brings him down. So the ball right now setting on the 11-yard line, and it's going to be third and goal from the 11. Beautiful, beautiful night for football here in northern New Mexico. Homecoming 2022 for Los Alamos. But right now, Pojoaque trying to punch it in essentially a 50-yard run by Elias Martinez. So they're going to, this time they got triple receivers out to the left. They have one receiver out to the right. They're on the right hash mark. So they have the entire left side of the field, and they run all the receivers out there that they can. So here we go again. And another 5-yard penalty marked off against the Elks for another false start. So they're killing themselves. Their third down now, very long pass is going to go into the corner of the end zone. He's got a man open, and does he pull it in? No, he doesn't. Boy, and that one, he looked like he had it. For a minute, I thought he was going to pull that in because of a beautiful, beautiful pass, and it was intended for Dylan Brandenburg, but beautiful pass. I mean, right over in that corner, right in the back corner by the pylon on the left side of the field. And for a minute, it looked like he had pulled it in, but they say no. And so now it's third down. The ball right now is sitting back at the 16-yard line. They started at the 5 after that run. Now it's going to be fourth down and goal. They're saying third down. Should be fourth down. I don't know. Well, anyways, I've lost count of the down. There's another blitz. And chasing him down, I believe that was Tignieto, and Matt Brusso. Matt Brusso, the defensive end for Los Alamos, leading the blitz. So Matt comes in and makes the stop. A big loss. That's going to put them all the way back to the 23-yard line. So they started at the 5, and after the nice run by Elias Martinez, and then the Hilltoppers, well, between the Hilltopper defense and the referees' penalties, it's been a tough go here. And so we're going to have Pojoaque is now going to take another timeout. Wow. So they burned 2 timeouts here in the first quarter actually their first possession, the first series. The officials in the game tonight are the back judge is Ronnie Miliorn. The line judge is Richard Montoya. Head linesman Joe Gardunia. The umpire is Henry Montoya. And the referee is Stephen Aragon. So it's going to be fourth down and very long for Pojoaque. And I think Pojoaque, they act like they're lining up for a field goal. The kicker would be Mario Barros, if that is the situation. And the holder is going to be Jeremy Quintana. And that's what they're going to try. So this is going to be a 40-yard field goal. They'll kick it right from the 30. 40-yard field goal, and this is going to be up and no good. So Hilltoppers hold after a beautiful run by Elias Martinez of about 50 yards down to the 5-yard line, and then from there on, Pojoaque just went backwards. And the Hilltoppers now will take over on their own 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos after the missed field goal. But it's nice. I like to see these high school teams kick field goals. Los Alamos doesn't do that a whole lot, but it's nice when they decide to do that. And now it's kind of their only choice because they had fourth and goal, very long. So the Hilltoppers line up in that spread, and boy, I mean, they've got all kinds of blockers back there. They're going to give it now to Nico Garcia over the right side. Nico, nice, right up the middle. He lined up just to the left of Zach Stidham, the quarterback. And Stidham, nothing fancy, just a quick turn, inside handoff. And then Nico straight up the middle and picks up a big gain all the way 16 yards. And Adam Pacheco finally brings him down for the Elks. So the Hilltoppers running out of that spread once again. They're going to give it to Teak this time. So Teak Nieto is going to go straight up the middle. Oh, wait, no, it's to Nico Garcia once again. So Nico is just straight up the middle. He's going to pick up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6. The ball is at the 41-yard line, still in Hilltopper territory. And rolling to his right, Stidham. They were going to run the option, but there's a whistle. And we're going to have a flag. see what they end up. We're going to call here, but the Hilltoppers they were trying to run an option to the right with Stidham and Teak Nieto. Long discussion between the officials as it was the head linesman who called who threw the flag, and now the official now will indicate to us as to what's going on. I think so. A dead ball foul, false start called against Los Alamos. Well, that took a while. False starts, or it might have been illegal procedure. It's the same signal. So they might have done something they're not supposed to do. So they'll line up again. And the same thing, Stidham dropping back to throw, the swing pass over onto the right side. And that is complete. And to Chris Meyerdurks. So Chris Meyerdurks coming off of that wide receiver position over there. Nice pass from Stidham to Meyerdurks. And he's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play. They're going to be third down now. And the ball is, well, he's actually going to pick up more than that. He's going to. But anyway, it's going to be third down and 2, and the ball, they're going to give it straight up the middle, this time to Teak Nieto. And let's see where Teak's going to pick up the first down. So Teak picks up the first down as he moves it up to the 46-yard line of Pojoaque. So the Hilltoppers, starting on their own 20, have now moved it up to the 46, and a couple of nice runs and a nice pass from Zach Stidham over to Chris Meyerdurks. First and 10 for Los Alamos. The ball at their own 40, at the 46. There's a delayed handoff going to Teak Nieto. He goes straight up the middle, and looks like he's going to be tied up and brought down there by Jeremy Quintana. So Jeremy Quintana, a 5'10", 185-pound senior, makes the stop on Teak, and Teak he's a big guy, 6'1", 215. So the Hilltoppers on second down, he picked up about 4 yards, and so pass. So they drop back, and a pass is intended up for Kenny Suazo. Suazo couldn't hang on, and so they ran a slant pattern, essentially, as Kenny came out of the backfield and then cut up toward the middle. And we didn't see much of that last week against St. Michael's. Almost every pass was a swing pass or a sideline screen. And very hardly ever used the middle of the field last week. But they sent Kenny into the middle of the field, that the pass ended up being incomplete. So now more discussion with the officials. Now we're going to have, what's he going to call now? It's going to be illegal receiver downfield. So that's going to cost the Hilltoppers a few yards, as that'll move it back to the 46-yard line. So the gain that Teak Nieto had picked up is now gone. So it's going to be second down and 10, and right back to the original line of scrimmage for this series. So Zeke Stidham back there, and back there with him is Nico Garcia. They're going to run the option to the right, and he fakes the lateral and keeps it to himself, as they ran the option to the left, not to the right. So Zach Stidham ran it to the left, and he had Teak on the outside. The lateral was supposed to go to Teak, but Ethan Milloy Chavez makes the tackle, and so Zach picks up only about 3 yards on the play. So the Hilltoppers have been successful with the running. Right now, they have not been very successful with the pass play, and they tried to run an option to the right and had the illegal procedure, and now they're going to try on third down, and we have a man in motion. They're going to hand it off now to Hayden Jorgensen. Jorgensen, boy, hit hard. I mean, hit hard at the 41-yard line. But Hayden Jorgensen trying to come around the right side. But, boy, I mean, they put a whack on him. And so, Seth Cowan, not Seth Cowan, let me see, Jeremy Quintana. Let's correct that. So it's going to be fourth down and 5 for Los Alamos. So looks like they're going to go for it. Or they might go. The Hilltoppers are pretty good at that hard count, but I don't imagine they're going to waste a timeout situation here. So they try the hard count. That doesn't work. So now they're going to shift back and go. The Hilltoppers had And the pass is going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Pojoaque and coming down the right sideline. And it's going to be run out of bounds around the 40-yard line. And that's Ethan Malloy Chavez. So Pojoaque, with the Hilltoppers on 4th and 5, decided to go to air it out. And right there is Ethan Malloy Chavez. And he picks it off and returns it down the right sideline into Hilltopper territory. And the ball's going to be spotted. The nose of the ball right at the 45-yard line of the Hilltoppers. No score in this ball game. 3:17 remains here in the first quarter. But it's been mostly Pojoaque. They started things off. They had a 4th and a 2. And then back in their own territory on the 45-yard line, they decided to go for it. Had a big run all the way down to the 5. And then weren't able to do anything with it. It actually just went backwards. But now Pojoaque's on the goal once again. Pacheco dropping back. He's got all kinds of time to throw. The pass is going to be caught. Caught way, way downfield. Wow. A great, great pass. And what a catch that this time by, I think it's Jeremy Quintana again. So Quintana making his presence known. But Adam Pacheco laid it right to him. Beautiful pass from Adam Pacheco down to Jeremy Quintana. And so that went from the 45-yard line. And where they're going to spot that ball down. They're going to spot it down. It looks like it's about the 13-yard line. So 32-yard gain that time on that pass play. Beautiful pass play. Adam Pacheco out of the pistol. Once again, behind him, Elias Martinez. And they have 3 receivers out wide right. And so just a quick pass right over into the open area in between the coverages, and that one is incomplete. That one intended for Jeremy Quintana again. So Quintana, we're hearing a lot about him on offense and defense. But the incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10. They're on the 13. So they've been in the Hilltopper red zone a long time here in this first quarter. And so once again, Pacheco rolling to his right. He wants to throw. He's got a man open. Whoa! Hit him right in the hands. And he had a chance to head to the end zone. Ethan Malloy Chavez. He was wide open inside the 10-yard line. Pass was right to him. And it's a simple case of trying to run before you catch the ball. And that's all there was to it. And it hit him right smack in the hands. And boy, he immediately just kind of dropped his arms, and he knew he had a golden opportunity for a score. So once again, they come out. They spread receivers everywhere they can. They'll run out of the pistol. Pacheco dropping back. He's going to air it out in the end zone. He's going to overthrow everybody. So he had 2 receivers down there in the end zone, and good coverage back there for the Hilltoppers. For Los Hilltoppers, is back there for Los Alamos was Hayden Jorgensen, and helping him out back there was Alex Pasulka. So now that's going to bring up 3rd down. And the ball's still at that 13-yard line. So they had a golden opportunity with that pass to Malloy Chavez. And a perfect pass right to him, and he could not hang on. So now it's going to bring up, we're going to have a holding penalty called against Pojoaque. So it's going to cost them 10 yards. And so they're going to move it back to the 23-yard line. So with 2:15 remaining, and Pojoaque now is faced at 3rd and 20. And we have another flag fly. We're seeing a lot of yellow here, and so once again, a false start against Pojoaque. So Pojoaque, the last time they got down to the 5-yard line, and then they just turned around and kept marching backwards between penalties and good defense by Los Alamos with a couple of sacks. And they went way back, and so they ended up actually with the 4th and goal from way out, kicked the 40-yard field goal attempt, which was not good. So 2:14 remaining, and the clock stopped here in the first quarter, 0-0 ball game. And Pojoaque's had the ball most of this quarter. Pacheco dropping back. He's under pressure. Pass is going to be complete, but having to kind of dive for it. Jeremy Quintana, of course. But the pass was behind him. He had to turn around, and he had to kind of take a half dive forward. He tried to keep his feet, but he went down on one knee. Once you do that in high school, you're done. So that is now going to move it up to the 27-yard line. Or let me correct that. Let's see, they're on the 23. The ball on the 23-yard line. And it's going to be 4-10. Let's see, are they going to try another field goal? Nope. This time they're going to go for it. So it's 4th and down. They can make a first down. That is possible. Pacheco, and he's being chased again. And boy, I mean, here comes Jackson Blair leading the charge. So they send the house once again. And Jackson Blair this time, the last time it was Matt Brusso, this time it was Jackson Blair. But I mean, he was leading the charge, and I mean charge. There were at least four green uniforms behind him. Huge loss. And so that's going to move the ball all the way back to, well, let's see, they're going to put it down, I believe, on the 36-yard line in Hilltopper territory. They're trying to figure it out. The umpire finally says, okay, here it is. On the 36, 1st and 10 for Los Alamos on their own 36. Minute 13 to go. Ball clock stopped on the change of possession. And so now we're having another discussion between the officials. And we really appreciate the help of the officials because everybody, they're always the bad guys. They're the bad guys if you're losing, the good guys if you're winning. But, I mean, the referee situation is really critical. It's really hard to get these guys to volunteer their time or they get paid. Comes to Teak Nieto. Nieto straight up the middle, cuts to his left and across midfield, and he's up to the 40-yard line at Pojoaque. And before Jack Urioste is able to pull him down, but just a simple handoff back there out of that spread formation, and Josh Urioste making the stop. But Zach Stidham just took the handoff, and then he just turned around and shoved it in the gut of Teak Nieto, who went straight up the gut of the defense, picks up a big yard. Stidham's going to air it out. He's got a man wide open over on the right side. I believe that's Hayden Jorgensen. We'll have to check and see. And yeah, it is Hayden Jorgensen. Debbie Katko spotting for me, doing a fantastic job here tonight. I really thank Mike Mays that wasn't able to make it tonight. So Debbie volunteered, but we have a flag. That's been the bane of the Los Alamos offense for 2 or 3 games now. Every time they have a nice gain, it's a flag. But we really do appreciate the help of these officials. It's really hard to get officials nowadays, and the referee crews, and that's what happened when they went up to Taos to play on Saturday. They played on Friday the first half. Saturday they were going to play the second half. They had a heck of a time getting a referee crew together, but they did. We're going to have an illegal man downfield again. So Hayden Jorgensen was wide open down the right sideline, but the Hilltoppers sent somebody else down too far. So one of the linemen too far up the field. And so that's a huge penalty. It's a big, huge gain for Los Alamos. The ball is shoved all the way back to the Hilltopper 46, and the clock is moving at 35 seconds to go. Here in the first quarter, still a 0-0 ball game. Homecoming 2022 for Los Alamos. Zach Stidham back for the Hilltoppers. He's going to roll to his right. And on the option, he's going to give it to Teak. Gets to Teak down the right sideline. Teak still going. And Teak, he finally breaks a couple of tackles. He just came roaring. He just bowled his way down that right sideline inside the 20-yard line. So they just run a simple option. I mean, it's simple. I didn't even think Zach was going to pop it off to Zeke, but he did at the last second. And boy, and Teak just took off down that right sideline and picked up a big gain, and Jeremy Quintana again on the stop. So the Hilltoppers, a quick pass over onto the left side, Hayden Jorgensen, the ball is loose, and we're going to have a flag. I think it's a flag, not a beanbag. No, it's a flag. And we're going to have, I think we're going to have offensive pass interference on Los Alamos. I do believe that's what they were kind of indicating. So the side judge threw the flag, and let's see what, pretty well, let me see. Let the referees figure it out here. As there's only about 6 seconds left in this quarter. And so finally now we're going to have an illegal block in the back by Los Alamos. And the way he was indicating it was he was indicating the side judge looked like he was indicating offensive interference, but it's going to be a illegal block in the back, and that's going to cost Los Alamos a big penalty. That's going to move it all the way back to the 25-yard line. And so the Hilltoppers, but they do have they did get the first down. Well, actually, they had a first down. And so now the clock is going to run out. That's the end of the first quarter. 0-0 ball game here at homecoming, as the Pojoaque has been pretty impressive. Both teams have moved the ball pretty well. I don't understand why they're not changing the ends of the field. The quarter is over. Or maybe they may be ruling that there was 6 seconds remaining on the clock. So maybe they have to play out those 6 seconds. And that could be the situation, because because of the penalty, the clock shouldn't move. So the referees are talking to each coach.
Oh, yeah, we have their names.
We don't have their.
Oh, you want to come in? Yeah,
You don't have their bios, do you?
we do, and we gave it to Maureen.
Yeah. Copy anywhere?
I can get another copy for you, and I just want to make sure you got the winners. So you know if you got the winners.
Yeah, anytime before the half. Thank you. Okay, and that apparently is the ruling on the field that they should not run the clocks, and they're trying to run the clock down. They have it down to 17 seconds. I don't know why it's 17. It was actually 6 seconds, but anyway, so I guess the play started with 17. So Zach Stidham is going to air it out into the end zone. He's got a man open. The catch is good. A touchdown, Los Alamos. Oh, a beautiful pass over into the right side of the end zone. And it looks like it's going to come. That looks like it's going to come down to Malachi Gutierrez. So I believe it was number 32. That's the Malachi Gutierrez over on the. Debbie's not sure if it's was Malachi or not. She's checking now with the binoculars, and so anyway, the Hilltoppers complete the pass, and well, let's see what's going on now. They're going to say it was not complete. Unbelievable. They indicated he had a touchdown. It was good. Zach Stidham rolling to his right. He's going to head to the end zone, and he is in for the score. So I don't know what happened on that last one, because they got it to Malachi. He was wide open in the end zone. He caught it. The officials apparently ruled that maybe he stepped out of bounds or something, because they brought the ball back, put it out back to the original line of scrimmage. They just handed it off to Zach Stidham. I mean, just snapped to Zach out of that spread. I mean, just nothing fancy. All Zach did was take off toward the sideline and zipped around down the right sideline, and he picks up the touchdown, about a 15-yard run, and they've got 0.2 of a second remaining on the clock. So that would mean that, are they going to stop this quarter or not? I'm not sure, because the teams have to change ends of the field, but the Hilltoppers still have to go for the point after. I'm thoroughly confused. They haven't put the score up yet. the referee, the official in the end zone indicated touchdown. And so I think they're going to, I don't know what they're doing. It says 0.2 of a second remains. The officials are talking to Garrett. Garrett is discussing things with the side judge. Garrett's not a happy camper. Now they're going to send both teams down to the other end of the field. And so the 0.2 of a second is gone. And, but if they rule it a touchdown or not, well, they still haven't put the score up. But it was a clear touchdown. Zach Stidham down over the right side into the end zone. Nobody touched him. And the official standing right there, the umpire, he just standing right there, raised his arms up for a touchdown, but they still haven't put that up on the scoreboard. So I've never been so confused. So right now it's supposed to be first down. Well, they're going to say he stepped out at the 1 yard line. That's what they have ruled. He stepped out at the 1, so it's first and goal from the 1. They're going to give it to Nico Garcia. And finally, I do believe Los Alamos finally has a touchdown. Wow. So they disallowed the touchdown on the path to Hayden Jorgensen. And then they run by Zach Stidham. They ruled that he actually stepped out of bounds on the 1. And so the first play of the second half, the Hilltoppers handed off and in for the score. And so and now Hayden Jorgensen will attempt the point after. Nice kick. And that's good. So Hayden Jorgensen puts it up for the Hilltoppers, and the Hilltoppers take a 7-0 lead. Who scored? So the Hilltoppers with a 7-0 lead after a nice drive down the field, stalled 2 or 3 times by the officials in some way. But I don't know what happened with the Hayden Jorgensen, but and I think we have a flag. And that's a flag will obviously be against Pojoaque. So they will, and they're going to call it, apparently it must be, well, the Hilltoppers normally would kick off from the 40-yard line, and roughing the kicker is the call. So here comes a penalty for roughing the kicker. So the kick is good, but the penalty now comes on the kickoff, which ends up moving the ball up to the 30, and so the Hilltoppers now, who normally would kick off from their 40, 15-yard penalty. So it's the big penalty for roughing the kicker. The kicker is kicked off and kick off from their own from the Pojoaque 45-yard line. That would have been a good time to try an onside kick. They were so deep into Pojoaque territory anyway. So the situation right now is 11:55 remaining here in the first. In his first half of play, and the Hilltoppers score on a run by Nico Garcia and then Hayden Jorgensen with the point after. But it took the Hilltoppers a while to do that. Hayden Jorgensen, they indicated he had a touchdown, and they said no. And then Zach Stidham on the right sideline, they indicated touchdown, and they said no. And finally, the Hilltoppers, Nico Garcia goes over the right side for the score. Pacheco, quick pass right up the middle on a slant pattern, and he completes that up to upfield and to believe that was, well, we're trying to figure out who that was. It looks like it was Ethan Malloy Chavez, yes. Ethan was a young man who had the opportunity for a touchdown in the first quarter, dropped the pass right to him, and so out of the pistol, here comes Pojoaque. They sent 3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 to the right, and they're going to hand it off straight up the middle, and it's going to go nowhere. And he's going to be a gang of Hilltopper tacklers. Elias Martinez, and Martinez is he just runs into a pack and led by Donovan Allen. So we have another flag on the field. Jeez. I mean, this is shades of Capital. When we played at Capital, we had a penalty about every other play. So let's see here. They're going to try to sort this out. Well, the official wandering around now. He's talking to the other official, talking to the umpire. And so he's going to let the umpire run off a penalty, walk off the penalty. And it's going to be dead ball foul. So I think it's going to be a hit to the head. So that's a big penalty. So they had moved the chain, so they're going to have to. They moved the chains back to where the ball is, but the chains have to go back to the original line of scrimmage. So they're in the process now of moving the chains back. We're just underway here in the second quarter, and Pojoaque pushed back again. So now it's going to be first down. Well, I don't know what they're doing. Here come the chains back again. So now they're going to put it down. The ball is down. Let me see where the ball is down at the 17-yard line. And now they're going to say it's 1st and 10 from the Pojoaque 17. And the officials still discussing things out on the field. It's been a rough game for the officials. A lot of decisions here that the officials are having to make, and this only 1 quarter of play gone by. So now they say we're ready to go. Now it's going to be second down. Okay, so now it's second down and 10 from the 17-yard line. So they changed the down. Pacheco dropping back under pressure. He gets it off. He's got a man open and a diving catch. Did he pull it in? No, they're going to say it was incomplete. Boy, he made a beautiful diving catch, and so the Pojoaque contesting it. And the receiver that time was Matt Romero, and it looked like he turned around and was behind him. He made a diving catch. The officials rule that he trapped it, so they wave it off. So that should make it now. I'm so lost, I can't believe it. And now they're still saying it's second down. So they had first down. They went over and they had a discussion. They changed it to second down. Now we have an incomplete pass, and it's still second down. I've never been so confused. Unbelievable. Well, okay, 2nd and 10. Okay, we can only call them as we see them. Pacheco passes almost intercepted. Wow. Right into the hands of Luke Gonzalez. Popped up, and he popped up and right in front of him. He just reached out, tried to grab it, and it just went in front of his fingertips. And he's had it. He got there. He cut off the pass. The pass hit him, went straight up in the air, hit him in the chest, went straight up in the air. And as he was running forward, he thought he was going to just be able to scoop it out of the air and go, but he just could not get there soon enough. So Luke Gonzalez, is good to see Luke back on the field again. So pass downfield is going to be incomplete. As Adam Pacheco trying to air one out way down the right sideline. And it looks this time looks like it was Killian Medina. So now let's see what are they going to say. What's the down going to be? It was second, now it's 4th. I give up. So now we go from first to second, and then we go from second to first, and back to second, and then we stay at second. Now we go to 4. So anyway, so they were going to have to punt anyway. Back in punt formation for Pojoaque is Corey Gonzalez. Corey standing on his own 5-yard line. And kind of a line drive, nice kick picked up at midfield and coming over to his right. And that's Seth Cowan. And Cowan goes down, and we're going to have a flag. Let me see. We thought it was Seth Cowan. Actually, Malachi Gutierrez returned that one for Los Alamos. And just as he was tackled, we have a flag fly. So we're either going to have something like a holding, or it could be a face mask. So another long discussion by the officials. So let's see. It's going to be they're calling okay, so they're calling the Hilltoppers for the penalty. They're going to penalize Hilltoppers 5 yards. So, and I did not see the signal, but the Hilltoppers end up with it at the 44-yard line of Pojoaque. And swing pass over onto the left side. That's the same problem that they had last week against St. Michael's. Had a lot of trouble completing those swing passes. And that was to Seth Cowan. And Cowan not able to pull it in. We dropped an awful lot of swing passes and sideline screens last week against Pojoaque. So we'll come back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And they're going to hand it to Teak Nieto over the left side. He's got a lot of running room. And he's going to make it across the 30-yard line. And Josh Juriosti waiting for him. And hits him at the 30, but then Teak falls forward to about the 29, but the official picks the ball up, puts the nose of the ball right at the 30. So the Hilltoppers pick up the 1st down. So it's 1st and 10, and they are at the 30-yard line of Pojoaque. Quick, and there's just a little quick dump off pass over to the tight end and over to Chris Meyerdurks. And Meyerdurks picks up let's see, he's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play. So it's so we're now down to it's going to be 2nd down and about 2 for Los Alamos. Zach Stidham with the pass. They're going to air it out into the end zone, and this one, the receiver was hit just as he's about to catch it, but it was overthrown anyway. And but they had two young men covering back there for the Hilltoppers, and the pass was intended for Chris Meyerdurks, but he got overthrown. But he had coverage all over him. So now we're going to have a 5-yard penalty marched off against Pojoaque. And so they're trying to move the chains. And so the ball is on the 11-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos from the Pojoaque 11. Stidham out of the spread, fakes it to Teak, keeps it himself over the left side. He's going to be inside the 10-yard line. And at that point, he is brought down just inside the 10, around the 9-yard line. So a 2-yard gain. That's going to make it 2nd and 8. Hilltoppers deep in Pojoaque territory. We're in the 2nd quarter. 9:06 remaining. The clock is moving, and 7-0 ball game. Hilltoppers up in their 2022 homecoming game. They give it to Teak Nieto. Nieto over the left side. And Teak is going to pick up a few yards. And, let's see. He's only going to pick up about 3. So the Hilltoppers not picking up a whole lot of yardage against that There's a Pojoaque big line. And so this time they're going to run out of almost a T formation, and they give it to Teak, or give it to Nico Garcia, and Nico right up the middle, Josh Furiosi, and on the tackle once again. And so let's see, they're very, very close to a first down, very close. So what are they going to rule? They've got the, well, I think, are they going to stop play, or are they going to give them the first down? The ball marker is, the down marker is right even with the end of the 10-foot chain, and they're still saying fourth down. So it's going to be, if it is fourth down, it's going to be fourth and inches, and I think they are going to measure. Yes, they are. So they will measure, and so we have, and let's see what we end up with here. As they put it down, it's going to be very, very close. And Pojoaque jumping up and down. And the official indicates that it's 2 inches. Fourth down and 2 inches on the 1 yard line. So the Hilltoppers on the 1, fourth down, 2 inches to go for the first down. We're going to have a timeout taken. 8:04 remains here in this first half of play. And a 7-0 ball game. And I'm not sure. And Pojoaque took the timeout. They have no timeouts left, period. And the Hilltoppers have all three of theirs left. At halftime, we're going to bring you the homecoming court as best we can. I know Debbie's been negotiating with somebody from the school here to get us we have the names of the court. We don't have the king and queen. We don't have the bio. Did we get bios? Oh, we got bios. Okay. So they did bring Debbie the bios. Awesome. So here we go. 8:04 remains in the quarter, in the half. 7-0 ball game. And it's going to be the Hilltoppers on fourth down and 2 inches from the 1 yard line. Going to come to Zach Stidham. He's going to hand it off to Nico Garcia. Garcia's going to be in, let's see, for his second touchdown of the ball game. So Nico Garcia takes a handoff. The same touchdown, same play he scored on the touchdown before. Right smack over the right tackle, and he dives into the end zone for the score. The Hilltoppers go up 13-0, and Hayden Jorgensen now will attempt a point after. So 7:59 remains here in the first half. 2 touchdown lead for Los Alamos, and make it a 14-0 score as Hayden Jorgensen puts it through the uprights. So every play or every series by both teams has been somewhat methodical as they just kind of maybe pound down and they're faced with a penalty, or Pojoaque has been faced with penalties and losses. Adam Pacheco's been under a lot of pressure by the rush, and so every once in a while Los Alamos picks the exact time, the perfect time for a blitz, and then Pacheco is just swarmed over as he tries to get away from the blitz. He got away from it once, but the last 2 blitzes that the Hilltoppers have brought, Matt Brusso led the first one, and they couldn't get away from Brusso, and then Jackson Blair, he was the man in charge of the herd on that second blitz. So the Hilltoppers, Jorgensen will kick off. High kick, and it's going to take a Pojoaque bounce as it came down on the 35-yard line. The ball is loose, and it looks like the Hilltoppers Kenny Suazo falls on it. It was a high kick, very high, and not very long. Came down around the 35-yard line of Pojoaque, took a backward bounce, a Hilltopper bounce backwards, or actually I should say a Pojoaque bounce, and then Pojoaque trying to pick it up. They couldn't get a hold of it. They dropped the ball, and Kenny Suazo right there for Los Alamos to drop on it. And the Hilltoppers are in business once again with 7:55 to go here in the first half of play, leading 14-0 already. But they have the ball now at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Pojoaque 38. So the Hilltoppers, fantastic field position to start this particular series. Stidham's going to air it down. Wide open. Kenny Suazo in the end zone. Kenny on a post route straight down the middle of the field, wide open behind everybody. Perfect pass from Zach Stidham, and the Hilltoppers score on the first play of the series. Wow, what a great pass by Stidham, and Kenny Suazo doing a fantastic job of getting open. He just blew by all the coverage and down the field, and Stidham, all he had to do was put it in his lap, and that's exactly what he did. And so the ball up by Hayden Jorgensen, and that's good. The Hilltoppers take a 21-0 lead here over Pojoaque. Boy, that didn't take very long. So the Hilltoppers recover the kickoff fumble, and then a beautiful pass, a 38-yard pass for Kenny Swidham, from Zach Swidham down to Kenny Suazo. And so Suazo pulls it in for the score. And with 7:49 remaining, the Hilltoppers take a 3-touchdown lead. But a shocker that time again for Pojoaque, as they thought they were going to get the ball after the kickoff. They fumbled it. And Kenny Suazo, well, he recovers the fumble, and then he scores a touchdown. Well, that's only rightly so. So it's another high kick. These kicks by Hayden Jorgensen are very, very short and very, very high. It comes down at the 35-yard line. Pojoaque pulls it in, and they will start from their inside their own 35-yard line. In fact, it's going to be the 34. So 21-0, 7:44 remains, and the ball now is at the 34-yard line of Pojoaque, 1st and 10. So they line up. No, they haven't changed the formation. They've had the same set for the entire ball game. Pat Mares likes the pistol, and that's what they've been going with. And Pacheco dropping back. He's under pressure again. Nice pass complete upfield, and then stumbling over his own feet as he pulled the pass in that time. And let's see, that was Ethan Malloy Chavez. He was wide open, caught the ball, turned around to run, and as he was making the turn, he tripped over his own feet and went down. And so but he does pick up a big gain up to the Hilltopper 42-yard line. He had more running room, but he had to turn around to catch the ball. And as he turned around to try to head upfield, you could see he just tripped over his own feet and went down on one knee. And so that was the end of that. But he did get it up to the Hilltopper 42. So a nice gain that time for Pojoaque. And so the Pojoaque trying to get something going here before the half. Pacheco runs into, he's going to be throwing for a huge loss. And I mean, well, they actually tackled him about the 35-yard line, drove him back to about the 45-yard line, drove him back to the 35-yard line. Jackson Blair, but of course, it'll be where his forward motion was stopped. But that play just, they were trying to run an option to the right. And so Pacheco took the ball, and as he was trying to roll to the right to the option, he actually ran into one of the Hilltoppers who had already penetrated. So they penetrated so fast that when Pacheco tried to roll to his right, he rolled right into the back of one of the Hilltoppers. And so that was all she wrote after that. I mean, once he ran into a Hilltopper runner, it was I mean, he was done for. So the handoff straight up the middle to Elias Martinez, and he's going to be absolutely buried. I mean, Kyler Young, boy, I mean, leading a parade of green, and Martinez had no chance whatsoever. So after the loss by Pacheco, and then of course no gain by Elias Martinez, the ball is back. The nose of the ball is right at the 50-yard line, midfield. The football, though, is still in Pojoaque territory. 5:40 to go. Clock moving. 21-0 ball game. Hilltoppers up by 3. Pacheco, and boy, he barely got the pass off. But boy, I tell you, Matt Romero was there all the way. And Matt hit him just as he threw it, but he did get the ball away. But great penetration that time by Matt Romero coming from the linebacker position. And boy, I mean, he just came around the right side. So Matt Romero lined up on he's in that strong linebacker position. So 5.5 minutes to go. Still 21-0, and long. It's going to be 4th and very long for Pojoaque. They decide to go for it. Pacheco's going to air it out, and the pass is going to be short. So you're trying to get it upfield to up to Ethan Chavez, but they had no chance. So they turned the ball over. And so now the nose of the ball, well, that's where it's supposed to be. The nose of the ball is at the 50, but it's in Hilltopper territory. So the ball is supposed to be right at the 50-yard lines, and that's exactly where it is. So the Hilltoppers will line up, and boy, they send every receiver they've got out to the left, except on the right side, they bring in Abraham Sanchez. Stidham on the run. He's going to keep it himself, and he's as he tries to turn the corner, Michael Marcus comes in and makes the stop. Boy, so Stidham trying to get something going, but great penetration that time by Marcus. Shoestring tackle on Stidham, drops him down. 5 minutes to go. First half. 21-0 ball game. Hilltoppers pick up 1 yard on that play. It's going to be second down. Pass over to Kenny Swazo. That wasn't a screen. It was it was a screen pass, but it was far enough up that it wasn't a lateral. It was behind the line of scrimmage, but it was a screen. And Kenny Swazo, the Hilltoppers just, I don't know what it is on those swing passes and the screen passes to the sidelines. The Hilltoppers just don't bring them in, and they didn't last week against St. Michael's either. So Stidham rolling back. So they're going to run a screen, and they're going to get it up to Teak Nieto. We're going to have Teak down the left sideline, and he's going to pick up big yardage, but we have a flag back in the backfield. So, and they threw that one right away. So the Hilltoppers ran the screen, classic screen, and the official saying, bring everybody back, because that play is going to be nullified. And so the Hilltoppers, after a big gain on the screen by Teak Nieto, and once again, illegal receiver downfield. That's the third time that the Hilltoppers have had a pass play nullified because of a illegal man downfield. And of course, when you're running a screen, of course, you let the defense come through. That's the whole idea. Chase the quarterback, and then you pop it up around the line of scrimmage to one of your running backs. The linemen are supposed to stay where they are, but 3 times now we had an illegal man downfield. So it's going to be third down and about 15 for Los Alamos. The ball's back at the 40, third down and 14. Now we're going to have another 5-yard penalty. This is going to be for a false start. So the Hilltoppers now are going backwards. The clock is stopped at 4:21 and now they started up. And the Hilltoppers are third down and about 20. And the ball at their own 41-yard line. Stidham rolling to his right. Pass is going to go to the sideline. That's complete. And that is complete to Hayden Jorgensen. And then the tackler brought him down. That time was Killian Medina. So Medina over on the sideline, but they did get it up to Jorgensen. So Hayden, he does pick up enough. He picks it all the way up to inside. It gets down to, let's see, they had about 20. So now it's about 4th and 6. So they pick up about 14 yards on that play. So 4th down and 6 for Los Alamos. They'll go for it. They give it to Teague. Teague straight up the middle. Got the first down. He's got more. And across the 30-yard line, a touchdown saving tackle that time by Josh Uriosti. So Uriosti has done a good job there, but I thought Teague was gone. Right up the middle. Picked up the first down easily. And then he took off for the sideline, but Josh Uriosti came in, made a one-man tackle on Teague Nieto on one. That's not easy to do, but it's 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. Zach Stidham is going to air it out into the end zone. He's got Malachi Gutierrez open, and Malachi goes up and comes down very, very hard as he went high up in the air, and he kind of got tangled up with one of the Pojoaque receivers who immediately went over to see how Malachi was. And that receiver was I believe it was Killian Medina. So let's see, Malachi. So Malachi now comes back to the lineup for the Hilltopper. Did he stay in? 32.
Being outdoors, playing with animals, and helping others. She spends her summers as a counselor at Hummingbird Music Camp. Erin would like to thank the influential people that have helped her get to where she is today. Mr. Finn, Miss Duque, sorry if I mispronounced, Jonathan, and of course her family and friends. She plans to attend college, and her family and friends. She plans to attend college next fall and is currently undecided about what her course of study will be.
And so next we have the couple of Abera Hatinga. And let's see, get the phone. How do you turn that phone on? The phone just died on us. Aha. So my engineer and spotter, Debbie Katko, has got things rolling again. So it's Abera Hatinga and Amelia Osborne, our next couple. Abera is the son of Kent and Susan Hatinga and a younger brother of Joaquin Hatinga. Abera is a student body vice president. He's been playing soccer since he can remember. Good soccer player, by the way. Abera enjoyed being outdoors and skiing with friends and family. He'd like to thank Mrs. Grove at LA at Los Alamos Medical School for making algebra somewhat understandable. Abera doesn't know where he will go to college, but yet he hopes to continue playing soccer. Amelia Osborne is the daughter of Rachel Moore Richards and Andrew Richards and older sister to Simon Richards. Amelia has been playing clarinet since she was in the 4th grade. She is a horn sergeant in the Hilltopper Marching Band, which I'm sure you can hear out there. Amelia has worked at Film Festival for over a year now, loves her job. She'd like to thank the important people in her life who helped her get where she is today. Mr. Finn, Mr. Meek, Miss Teague, Miss Garrett, and her amazing family and friends. Amelia would also like to shout out the clarinet section who never failed to put a smile on her face and always make rehearsals 10 times more fun. Amelia hopes to attend Northern Michigan University next fall to study pediatric nursing. And we now have Luke Gonzalez and Tara McDonald.
Okay, Luke is the son of Greg and Jill Gonzalez and brother to Michaela Gonzalez. Luke has attended school in Los Alamos his whole life. Luke participates on the football and track teams and is a member of National Honor Society. Luke enjoys playing sports, fishing, and being outside. He also enjoys participating in Young Life and making people smile. Luke plans to attend Arizona State University to study in behavioral sciences. Luke wants to be an FBI investigator when he grows up. Luke would like to thank Kristen Martinez, Darren Jones, Mick Matuzak, and Ryan Gilbert for being unforgettable, positive influences he'll remember for the rest of his life. Luke especially wants to thank his mom and dad. He says, "Thank you for always supporting me in everything I do. I love you." Tara McDonald. Tara is the daughter of Ann Cernicek and Sean McDonald, and sister to Katie and Megan McDonald. Tara has been back and forth between Los Alamos and Washington, D.C. her whole life. Tara has been playing soccer for as long as she has been able to walk. Tara is the captain of the girls' varsity soccer and basketball teams and enjoys playing her sports and game days. Tara loves spending time with her friends and loves making people laugh. She plans to play Division I college soccer next fall and wants to study sports medicine. Tara wants to give a huge shout out to Mick Matuzak for reminding her every day that it is not okay to suck and that she is a 79 on a good day, but also being the best motivator she could ask for. She also wants to shout out Coach Hammock, Miss Montoya, Maury Pongrantz, and Mr. Steritz for their constant support and encouragement throughout her 4 years at Los Alamos High School.
Well, that is the homecoming court, 5 couples. And let me see. Oh, we also, so let's see, we have one more couple? Or just,
yes.
Oh, yes, we do. Sorry about that. Okay, I was only told there was 5. Dominic Dowdy. Sorry about that. So anyway, Dominic is the son of Andrea and Eric Dowdy and the younger brother of Nicholas and Antonio. Dominic plays trombone in the Hilltopper Marching Band. He's in the jazz band and the Los Alamos Jazz Project. He would like to thank Mr. Meek, Mr. Finn, and Miss Teague for being incredible band directors and super kind people. Dominic would also like to thank Maury Pongrantz for doing a spectacular job announcing. Dominic hopes to continue his trombone through college. And finally, I think this should be it's Yoon Soo Kim. And Yoon Soo is the daughter of Young Ho and Hyunjo Kim, and the younger sister of Hoon. Yoon Soo is the president of Rotary Interact Company, co-president of the speech and debate team, a natural helpers officer, and a Los Alamos Public Schools Foundation president representative. She loves to play the piano, treasures the many late-night board games and sonic runs with her friends. You may have seen Yoon Soo presenting speeches at service events like Peace Glow for Ukraine or videos for her singing pop songs. On her ukulele, she hopes to study international relations in college and one day work as a diplomat for the U.S. She would like to thank the wonderful Los Alamos High School staff, Miss Batha, Miss Ovaska, Miss Tobin, and her loving family for being such positive influences on her life. And so that is the homecoming court, 6 couples, and right now the band is on the field, and Maury Pongrantz now will introduce the couples and read their profiles. And while he does that, we're going to send it back to Charlene for a little bit to hear from our very nice sponsors, who and we really appreciate their sponsorship. of the Los Alamos Daily Post broadcasts. And then we will come back and let you know who the 2022 Homecoming King and Queen are. So we'll be back.
Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win. So go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public as well as the playgrounds and facilities while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamosschools.net website. If you click on the Safety and Wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying, or whether it's a suspicious person on campus, or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today, and I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pojoaque Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the nature center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Greetings, Hilltoppers. I'm Brian DeAndrea of TechSource Incorporated. We are a science and engineering consultancy headquartered in Los Alamos, and for over 20 years have been providing the hard-won knowledge and skills from this community to organizations around the nation. It is our pleasure to support Los Alamos and Hilltopper sports. Good luck and have fun. Go Hilltoppers!
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers!
We understand the challenge of explaining to kids that money doesn't grow on trees. At Los Alamos Schools Credit Union, we have all of the tools you need for your kids to learn good financial habits. We offer a free student checking account with debit card, 24/7 online banking, and great member service to help you and your family's finances stay on track. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school bonus deposit with every new student checking account open before October 1st. Grow with us at Los Alamos Schools Credit Union, for people, not profit.
All right, so Maury Pongrass has completed the profiles of the homecoming court. So he's going to announce now who the homecoming king and queen are. I'm going to have Debbie try to pick that up for me. So if he ever gets around to it. So, but he's still thanking all kinds of people. Tony Galassi and Lourdes Ledoux, Lenny Zhao and Isabel Price, Seth Yost, football player Evan Gatto. Seth, injured, is not in the ballgame tonight. Abera Hatinga, soccer player Amelia Osborne, Luke Gonzalez on the football team, Tara McDonald, outstanding athlete, basketball and soccer, Dominic Dowdy, and Yoon Soo Kim. Let's see if we can pick up who the homecoming king and queen are. Maury's being pretty wordy, but It was well, that's kind of unusual in a way. It was the same. It was the final couple, Dominic Dowdy, who came across the field in crutches, and he is the homecoming king. He is the homecoming king for 2022, and the homecoming queen, it was the young lady he escorted, Yoon Soo Kim, and you don't see that a whole lot. Usually, it's they come out in couples, but it usually is it's mixed up somehow, and it's not always that you see a particular couple that comes out win both of them. So congratulations to Dominic Dowdy and Yoon Soo Kim, the king and queen of the 2022 homecoming, and congratulations to all the court members for their contributions to Los Alamos High School. All of these, of course, all 12 of these young ladies and young gentlemen are outstanding contributors to the community and, of course, to their high school. And so we're about ready to go as Los Alamos will receive to start the second half, leading 28-0. And Corey Gonzalez is going to kick off for Pojoaque, and they switch it over. They let Mario Barros make the kick. So Mario makes the kick, and down the field and coming around the right side, Malachi Gutierrez is the ball runner as he gets it up to the 40-yard line. Took it about the 25 and then brought it up to the 40-yard line of Los Alamos. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos at the this way. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. The ball is spotted right down at the 40-yard line and the nose of the ball right at the 40. 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. First series of the second half, leading in this ball game 28-0. Stidham, quick pass, and that one is going to be dropped by Los Alamos. So, it was right to the line of scrimmage, and the pass was intended for Kenny Suazo, and Kenny's had some slippery fingers for a while, but they are going to say it was complete. I thought he dropped it. Sure looked like he dropped it, but they're going to say, no, it's complete for 6 yards. Sorry, Kenny. You have sticky fingers. So in motion goes Kenny Suazo. They fake it to him. Now they give it to Teak up the middle. He's got a lot of running room. Picks up the first down as he's across the 40-yard line of Pojoaque. So they ran in the background, and they had Kenny run right in front of Zach Stidham, faked the handoff to him, and then on the delay, turned around with an inside handoff, shoved it in the gut of Teak Nieto, and he went straight up the middle for big yardage. So he is now up to the 40-yard line of Pojoaque, 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. Stidham dropping back. He's going to air it out over on the sideline and to Malachi Gutierrez. Malachi can't hold on. Jeremy Quintana over there defending for Pojoaque. So that's going to make it now 2nd and 10 for Los Alamos. The ball's still at the they see it was at the 40. Now they put it down on the 39. So, and that's about the right place. So the Stidham pass it again, right sideline. And it is complete up to Hayden Jorgensen for about 5 yards. And Jeremy Quintana again, Debbie. He's been everywhere. So the Hilltoppers pick up about 5 yards on that play. So it's going to be 3rd and 5. The ball is at the 35. Going to get it to Kenny Suazo around the left sideline. He picks up the first down, makes a nice cut, and then cuts across the 25-yard line for the first down. And hit by Isaiah Martinez. Martinez drops him, but not before Kenny picks up the first down. So it's a 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. And now they get it down to the 24-yard line of Pojoaque. So the Hilltoppers on the move. Zach Stidham, well, he's going to throw now. He's going to run. He's got a lot of running room, and he kind of is tripped up, but he kind of dives forward down to about the 15-yard line. And let's see where they decide that he went down. But a nice run. He actually was going to pass it, but I think we apparently have another penalty flag. He was going to pass it, but nobody rushed him, so he decided to go ahead and run it himself. We have a penalty against Los Alamos, and I don't know, as the official finally is. So we have a hit to the head by Los Alamos. Well, that's going to cost them big time. Big penalty all the way back to the 43-yard line. Let's see, we got a text here, I think. So, anyway, 28-0. I'm gonna, and we have 9:37 remaining here in the third quarter. I want to have a shout out to Mike to listening at home and taking good care of Warren. And I want to shout out to Kent out in California, up in Denver. So Kent Mortensen listening in here this evening, and a shout out to Dean Mortensen over in Lubbock and to Larry Mortensen. So all the family tuning in here to hear the voice of Los Alamos. And so now down the left sideline, and it's going to be Teak Nieto, and he's going to take it all the way down inside the 5-yard line. And
no,
let's see. It was Zach Stidham faked it to Teak and then kept it himself, following Teak down the sideline. I thought it was Teak running the ball, but Zach Stidham, big gain, and they're down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal. Stidham rolling to his right, the pass over on the right sideline, and it's trying to get it to to Hayden Jorgensen. And that one was dropped. It's Jeremy Quintana on the coverage again. So Hayden couldn't hang on. So that's going to bring up second down. It's second down and goal for Los Alamos. And the ball right now sitting at about the 7.5-yard line of Pojoaque. Give it to Teak. And Teak right up the middle to the 2. Oh, did he make it in? Okay, he got the ball across the goal line. Unbelievable. He went down, and as he fell down, he was just right around the 2-yard line. And apparently, as he went down, he just reached out and slapped the ball across the goal long enough to touch all he has to do is break the plane just to, if he touches the goal line, that's all he's got to do. Hayden Jorgensen, and his kick is good, and it makes it 35-0. And so now, Debbie, what that does is that puts us into a running clock here in this second half of play. So after the kickoff, it's 8:37. The clock stopped right now, but after Los Alamos kicks off, this will be a running clock until unless Pojoaque gets it less than 35. If they get the Hilltoppers get it to 50, then the ball game is over. But right now it's 35-0, and this clock will not stop for timeouts and fumbles, and well, it's up to the official whether they decide they want to stop it or not. But normally, if you run out of bounds or drop a pass, if the clock continues to run, of course, timeouts and injuries will stop the clock, and anything else that the officials feel that they would like to stop the clock for. High kick by Hayden. I'm just amazed at his kicks. They're real moon balls, and picked up over there by Pojoaque, and then trying to come a short kick. Kyler Young immediately there for Los Alamos to bring down the Pojoaque receiver, and he brought him down at the 35-yard line. But the Hayden had that one kick that went all the way back. Thought it was going to roll in the end zone, went all the way back to the 1, and they had to pick it up, and then there was a penalty. But the Hayden's kicks are always, and his punts are the same way. High moon balls, and only go about 20, 30 yards. The pass up the middle, nice on the slant route. and a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch, breaking a tackle and coming down the right sideline. Great run that time by Josh Uriosti of Pojoaque. Running a slant pattern, coming in from the left to the right, cut right into the middle, got the ball on the run, took off, got up to about the 35-yard line of the Hilltoppers, broke a tackle, spun around, broke another one, kept going, and then he got it up a little further up, and finally Kenny Suazo was finally able to bring him down. But don't tell me we're going to – beautiful play by Pojoaque. Don't tell me we're going to have it. There's a flag on the play. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I thought Josh that was down right there, and that he just did a little turn move, and he was gone. Broke that first one.
Yes. Yeah, he really did. And so it was there's long discussion with the officials, and flag way back at the 40-yard line of Pojoaque. And now they're pointing way up the field. And so let's see what they're going to do. It'd be a shame to negate that great run that time by Josh. Running, pass and run. And it looks like maybe it's going to go against Los Alamos. Well, the umpire has the ball. Let's see which direction is he going to go. Well, he's standing there talking to the head linesman right now. So now they are finally deciding, well, now he's going to walk it off. And this is going to be a big penalty, half the distance to the goal. And I didn't see what the call was unless it was a face mask, but I didn't see the official. I was concentrating on the umpire. But boy, big gain, and then a penalty for Pojoaque. So Pojoaque, they're going to hand it off. They're going to give it to Elias Martinez. He's going to go over the left side. The ball is they're starting out. They can make a first down because they're starting. Let's see, the ball actually starting out on the 13-yard line. So they can make a first down to the 3. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 for Pojoaque. And this time handed up right over right tackle. The handoff went to Ethan Malloy Chavez. He was tripped up. I think he might have been tripped up by one of his own linemen because there wasn't a Hilltopper there. He just started across the line of scrimmage. He just actually tripped and fell. And he tripped over the leg or the foot of one of his linemen. But he does fall forward for about 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 3 for Pojoaque. And they're going to give it once again straight up the middle. And this is going to be very, very close to a first down. The ball carrier again is Ethan Malloy Chavez. And let's see. And he picks up the first down. So Pojoaque now has it 1st and goal from the 2. And let's see where they put it. They put it on the 3. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. So Pojoaque, after giving up the initial touchdown of the second half, boy, they answer back in a hurry on a great run, great pass and run by Josh Uriosti. Pojoaque, 1st and goal from the 3. So if they can avoid the penalties, they may have a chance to get this ball, get in the score on the scoreboard. Rolling to his left, and in all kinds of trouble, Adam Pacheco, and he was running for his life. Boy, I can't believe he tried to get it to Ethan Malloy Chavez, but that was just desperation. He rolled out to his left, and then he was under all kinds of pressure. So he turned around, ran all the way to the sideline, turned around, started to run back across the field, saw Chavez open up around the 10-yard line or 5-yard line, and he just threw a desperate pass on the run. And I'm surprised that they tried to do that, that they tried to pass it. I'm surprised they're having success running the ball. I'm surprised they didn't go ahead and run it. Now Pacheco dropping back again, and he pass into the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. I don't understand what they're doing. they had the run game going. And Pacheco's been under tremendous pressure every time he rolls out to pass. And that pass is going to be incomplete. That'll bring it back to the 3, and that's going to make it now 3rd down and goal from the 3. We have 4:25 remaining here in the third quarter. 35-0 ball, and the clock is running. By the way, we're under a running clock at this time, unless Pojoaque can score. If they do, bad snap on the ground, and Los Alamos has it. And picking up that loose ball for Los Alamos. The bad snap got away from Adam Pacheco, and right there was Horan Quintana to pick the ball up for Los Alamos. Well, that's a shame. Pojoaque, nice, great drive by Pojoaque all the way down to the 3-yard line of the Hilltoppers, and then a bad snap. And the ball gets away from Pacheco, but we have penalty flags down again. So let's see, I have 2 penalty flags down. And the officials, I believe, are talking to Los Alamos, I do believe. And, of course, we'll see what all the options are here. It takes officials a long time to decide what the options are, but they're doing a good job here tonight. So,
yeah, that was just a bad snap. He couldn't hold on to it. I was hoping they'd at least get on the board.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct called against Los Alamos. And so they will march off the penalty after Horan Quintana pulled it in. Picked it up and ran, and then he was dropped. Now, after the penalty, they are going to move it back to the 7-yard line of Los Alamos, and it's going to be first and 10 from their own 7. Pass to Malachi Gutierrez over on the right sideline is complete up to the 20-yard line. So Malachi is able to pick up the enough yardage for the first down. Jeremy Quintana. I tell you, Jeremy Quintana and Josh Ariosti, they have been a couple of very busy players. And so let's see now we have another flag. So let's see what Stephen Aragon, the official, is going to tell us here. And a lot of flags here, but we're deep in Los Alamos territory. And so we're going to have a tripping. Personal foul. We're going to have a tripping called against Los Alamos. So Los Alamos called for tripping. And so we're going to have Pojoaque is going to take a timeout. We have 3:30 to go here in the third quarter, 35-0 ball game. Pojoaque almost scoring and would have stopped the running clock, but just some bad luck. Got down to the 3-yard line, tried to let Adam Pacheco roll out for passes. He was under pressure the first down and first and goal. He was under all kinds of pressure. He was running for his life. So all he did was just try to unload it. The second time he tried to throw it in the end zone, that was incomplete. And then, as Debbie says, on the third one, it was just a bad snap. There was nothing Adam could do about it. Bad high snap, got away from him. And then the Hilltoppers picked it up. So we have a tripping violation called against Los Alamos, so they are penalized. And they are penalized back to their 4-yard line. And so it's going to be first and about 14 for the Hilltoppers. And so Stidham and Nico Garcia standing in their own end zone. They give it to Nico. And Nico is going to try to come over right tackle. And A pretty big pile up there by Pojoaque. Couldn't tell who left at the time. And so John, our engineer, working on our equipment. We seem to be okay. But
So what happened?
I don't know. Let's see. Where's the fish? Where's the umpire? I mean, the referee.
Looks like they're bringing it back.
Yes. Going to be a penalty against Los Alamos, probably for illegal man downfield. Let's see. Nope. They're going to call illegal block in the back, called against Los Alamos. And that block is being called right smack about where he caught it.
Wow.
So the penalty would come from where the block occurred, but in this case, it's they're moving Los Alamos. Well, they moved Los Alamos back to the 10-yard line. So the block occurring around the 20. So here we go again. 145. So a 91-yard pass play for Los Alamos is negated. Long pass down the field. Whoa! Open was Malachi Gutierrez, but Zach Stidham could not get it to him. So Malachi did a fantastic job of getting behind the coverage. He was ahead of 3 defenders, but the pass was short. So that's going to bring up third down now, and third down and 7, long 7. 1:14, the clock is running. We're still on the running clock, and even with the incomplete pass. So here's third down. They give it now to Teak Nieto. Nieto is going to be close to the first down, but I don't think he gets it.
That's Jeremy again. Jeremy Quintana, he's everywhere.
Yes, he is. 5'10", 185-pound senior. But Teague does pick up the first down. I didn't think he did. But he does move it up to about the 18-yard line for 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. And Stidham is going to keep it himself over right tackle. And he's going to move it up. He's going to pick up another first down as he gets it out to the 30-yard line. And let me correct that. That's Kyle Evan, who is the quarterback. And he was a quarterback. I think Kyle was the young man who threw the pass to Nico Garcia. So I didn't pick that up. That Kyle Evan, who was in at quarterback. So we missed that, but
we sure did.
Yes, but now we're going to have the end of the third quarter. Hilltoppers leading 35-0. But yeah, Kyle Evan, who came in on that last series, and it was Kyle who made that pass over to Nico Garcia, 91-yard pass play, and brought back for Los Alamos, block in the back. So anyway, the situation for next week, the Hilltoppers will be on the road again. They'll go down to the football team. We'll head down to Academy. That's a Saturday afternoon game. The Academy has no lights, and so that will be next Saturday, the 24th of September. That ball game will be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so next week, the Hilltoppers, we have volleyball versus Capital. That's on Tuesday night. That's most likely will be our broadcast next week along with Capital. We still haven't worked out the next week's schedule. We kind of have to do that as we go. But so the Hilltoppers with it. And there's a little shovel pass over to Malachi Gutierrez. And Malachi breaks a tackle across the 45-yard line, trying to bring him down. That time with Ethan Malloy Chavez, he couldn't. And then finally making the stop was Killian Medina. But he did get it up to the 50-yard line, nose of the ball at the 50 in Hilltopper territory. Kyle Evan, who's the quarterback for Los Alamos, comes right to Kyle. He's going to run it himself. And, he runs into a lot of traffic up around the 45-yard line, and he's able to keep going for maybe another yard. And so he finally hit and brought down there at the 43-yard line. And so the Hilltoppers have a second down and about 4. And there's another little shovel pass, and the Hilltoppers are still going. They got it to Malachi Gutierrez, and now Callie's coming. He was down the left sideline. He's still going, cutting to the middle of the field. So there's a little shovel pass to the right, and he ran into. They were right on the right hash mark, so he took off, ran into all kinds of traffic. Looked like they got him. He somehow got out of the pack, turned around and headed backwards, ran all the way from the exact right side of the field to the left side of the field, and cut up the field for a nice gain before finally Michael Marcus brought him down for Pojoaque. But what a run by Malachi Gutierrez. Came all the way from the right side to the left side, then cut back up into the middle. And Pojoaque thought they had him. Kyle Evan, who's trying to run a screen, they run it, and it's good and successful as they get it up the field up to about the 25-yard line. And that was the Kenny Suazo but they ran the screen. Kyle Evan, who's good job of running the screen that time.
Yeah, I thought he was in trouble. He got out of it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, they were coming in a hurry, but then he popped that screen off to Kenny. And so well, we had some toppers go down at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure what that was all about, but finally, Chris Meyerdurks gets the handoff. He goes around the right side. We had some toppers actually just go down at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure what that was about. And now we have a injured player. Elias Martinez made the stop for Pojoaque, but we have a Pojoaque player on the field. So that'll stop the clock at 8:58, 35-0. Once again, I'd like to make a shout out to Tammy and Mike, and to Kent and Larry and Dino, and to the Meyerdurks. Clarissa did not, she forgot to tell me what state you guys are in, but she said you guys tune in for all the games. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the ball game. At least this has been better than the past couple of weeks, as the Hilltoppers in total control of their homecoming game. So a shout out to the Meyerdurks.
I think that was Chris Meyerdurk that caught that pass.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris caught the pass over on the right side, and then he was tackled, but the Pojoaque player was the one who ended up injured. Now he gets up, walks off on his own power, so he's okay. And that was Jeremy Quintana. I mean, he's been a defensive stalwart for Pojoaque in this ball game. So we're ready to go again with 8:58 remaining here in the ball game. 35-0 is the score. And so Chris picked up a first down, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. The ball's down at the 18-yard line. So Evan, who's dropping back, swing pass over on the left side to Nico Garcia. Nico dives toward the pylon. Did he make it?
Not quite.
He came down that left side and he got hit, and then he was right on the sideline. And so when he got hit, he dove, and Ethan Malloy Chow was making the stop. But anyway, Nico diving forward, trying to hit the pylon with the football, just fell short. So Hilltoppers down inside the 1-yard line. They're going to give it to, and they give it to Nico. That's the 3rd touchdown, Debbie, for Nico in this ball game.
Yep, he had a good hole there.
Yeah, he did. He deserved that one because he's the one that made it happen. He got a nice hole over the right sideline, and so that makes it now 41-0. 7:54. They'll stop the clock now while they do the point after and the kickoff and everything. Hayden Jorgensen will boot it away. Nice kick by Hayden. So that makes it 42-0 to the Hilltoppers over Pojoaque. So the Hilltoppers successful in their homecoming game. They've been a successful homecoming week. Hilltopper girls started things off soccer, defeating Rio Rancho on Tuesday. That ball game 2-1. When everybody was telling me Rio Rancho was going to kill us because they were really good, but Hilltoppers took care of them without any problem. And then the Hilltopper girls traveled down to St. Pius, and they won that ball game down at Pius. Tara McDonald scored the 2 goals against Rio Rancho, by the way. And then on Thursday night, the Hilltopper girls went to St. Pius, won that one, 1-0. The boys at the same time played St. Pius up here, and off a goal by Tai Hinojosa, the Hilltopper boys won by a score of 1-0. Another one of those high kicks. The ball gets away from Pojoaque.
Right through his arms.
Vending machine.
Vending machine,
as they call it.
Oh.
Another one of those high kicks came down to the 35-yard line. and trying to pull it in. And like Debbie says, it came right down in his arms and then straight down. The old vending machine. But he was able to fall on it.
Yeah, that was good. At least he held on to it.
Yes.
I'm being told to say that if you want to tune in, you go to YouTube, Los Alamos Daily Post.
Yes.
So I did my job.
Awesome. So this time they're going to, well, they line up in a pro set and coming around the left side. So they come out of the pistol that time. And Adam Pacheco's still the quarterback, but this time they come out of the pistol, go to a pro set. And Ethan Malloy Chavez gets the handoff, comes around the left side. Big gain for Ethan as he gets it up to the Pojoaque 48-yard line, picks up the first down.
He was racing that one.
And so they give it to Elias Martinez is he comes on the left sideline. He's stopped there at the left sideline for Los Alamos, and that was by Jehoran Quintana. Jehoran was actually out of bounds, sitting down out of bounds, and then holding on to him. But here's a flag.
Oh. Yeah, Jehoran had his foot, and he just pulled Jehoran out with him.
Yes, he did. So we have a penalty called against Pojoaque, and that's a big one. The holding is called against Pojoaque, and so that'll move it back 10 yards. So the ball now is back at the 33-yard line. Straight up the middle they go. And the handoff went this time to Ethan Malloy Chavez, and Ethan he's going to pick up a few yards, but not very many. He gets it up to the 42, and they need to get to the Hilltopper 42, so they're a long way away. And another flag. And let's see, and they're not even wasting any time on this one. False start is the call against Pojoaque. So they do stop the clock while they walk off the penalty. 5:33 remaining. Clock is stopped. Pojoaque's had a lot of trouble, but it's just they had that one play, which was a beautiful play, 91-yard run, and that was called back. And then Pojoaque's had just some bad luck, got down to the 1-yard line and could not get it in, ended up fumbling the ball, rolling to his right. Adam Pacheco got a man open, and I thought we might have a flag. There was an awful lot of contact down there as the pass was intended for Matt Romero, and Tique Nieto was right there with him every step of the way. And they were really tangling it up together. Well, actually, it was Hayden Jorgensen. I'm sorry.
My fault.
Yeah, it was the man downfield on the defense for Los Alamos. So that's going to bring up, well, it's going to be second down and about 18, I do believe. Let's see. They're on the 38. Yeah, and that's right. And they got to get to the Hilltopper 42, 20 yards. They are 20 yards away from the first down, second down. And the clock is stopped. We have a timeout taken by Pojoaque. So the homecoming court tonight and the homecoming king was Dominic Dowdy. And the homecoming queen was Yan Soo Kim. And interestingly enough, they were the couple that was they were paired off together. They pair off the kings and queens, and they come out in separate couples. And tonight, Dowdy and Kim were paired off together. I mean, you don't usually see that. But anyway, congratulations to Dominic and and Yoon Soo. Homecoming King and Queen 2022. Been a successful homecoming. Big bonfire last night. Big crowd at the bonfire last night. Huge crowd at the parade today. The handoff's going to go to Lloyd Chavez, and he's got some running room as he's going to get it up near midfield. So he's going to a nice pickup that time up to midfield. So he's going to pick up 12 yards, and that's going to make up 12 of the 20. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Pojoaque. Let's see where they. Well, we see another discussion. You see a flag anywhere, Debbie?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Well, let's see.
It's like they're doing the chains, maybe.
I don't know. I'm lost. Let's see what the guy in the white hat has to say here. He's talking to the umpire. Umpire ready to march it off, one way or the other. Looks like he's aiming. He looks like he's aiming toward Los Alamos to walk it away. So long discussion, and so it's going to be a dead ball foul, and we're going to have looks like a hold against Pojoaque. So I thought they were going to march it off against Los Alamos, but they're going to say no. So after a nice gain by Pojoaque, they get marched back. So the ball now is put down to 35-yard line. So the hold occurring at the 45. And now we're going to have another timeout taken. And let's see. Did they call timeout? Yes, they did. And they have indicated that I think Pojoaque took the timeout. The scoreboard, yes, they did. So Pojoaque used all 6 of their timeouts in this ball game. Los Alamos used 1 of their 6, and that was in that right towards the close of the first half. So the Hilltoppers with a couple of injured players down on the sideline. Seth Yost, who was in the homecoming court, and along with Zach Schwarzkopf, both wearing cowboy hats down there on the sideline, cowboy hats in their jerseys. So the ball is all the way back to the 35-yard line of Pojoaque. They still have to get to the 42-yard line of Los Alamos. So what's that? That's 15 and 8, 23 yards.
4 minutes and 33 seconds.
Thank you, Debbie.
Left.
42-0. So thank you, Debbie, I always forget the score. Adam Pacheco in trouble.
Oh, boy.
Whoa. There's a flag. We're going to go to flag for taunting.
Taunting.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Los Alamos.
Yeah, 4 of those guys they just pounded him. And then they jumped up and down and loved it. So they're in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly. Debbie has nailed it on the head. And that was another flag.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. And we may get a double penalty here. Well, right now in the middle of the Los Alamos pack, which I didn't see at first, and was one of the Pojoaque players, and that was Killian Medina. So everybody was all together, but Killian was down there right in the middle of the Hilltopper pack. Then they threw the flag, so I don't know what's going on here. So Stephen Aragon is going to straighten it out for us, I hope. This has been a strange game. And now Aragon coming over and talking to head coach Garrett Williams and explain to him what has happened. So Garrett out there, the Hilltoppers leading comfortably in this ball game, 42-0. And Pojoaque players all head to their bench. And the crowd getting very restless here. And so here let's see what they're going to call, Debbie.
Yeah, no telling.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't think anybody does. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Los Alamos for taunting.
What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 refs?
Yeah, there's 5. Yeah,
5.
5 refs. Yeah,
They've been doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, they certainly have. He's now over talking to the head linesman. The umpire standing in the middle with the ball. The line judge standing with the umpire. Now they're over talking to Pat Maris of Pojoaque. So a long talk with Garrett Williams, now a long talk with Pat Maris. And here comes Steve Aragon. And now he's talking to the Pojoaque players. And
they've been doing a lot of talking with the players.
Yes, they have. And he's writing something down even. Oh, this is major. Got out his little notebook, writing things down, and I don't think they've thrown anybody out of the ball game, at least that I've noticed. If you get thrown out, you can't play the next game. You're ineligible. But I don't think anything like that has happened yet. So still writing in his little black book is Stephen Aragon. And now he's talking to the Pojoaque players. The umpire with his hand on his hip. Here we go. Okay, let's see if we can understand all this. So we have a dead ball foul. And, okay. And there's going to be it's a kind of an interesting situation. They have a dead ball foul, and dead ball foul anyway. They have a hit to the head by Los Alamos, and then they have an unsportsmanlike conduct, and Pojoaque takes the hit to the head, but declines the. I would have thought they'd have doubled them up and just gave them both penalties, especially the unsportsmanlike conduct, because that's after the play is over. But they only march off one penalty and on 2 against Los Alamos, but it's a first down. The ball's at the 40-yard line.
Huh.
Let's see, and let's see what is going on. How come Los Alamos has the ball?
That's what I'm wondering.
That wasn't fourth down. I'm so confused now. I have no idea what's going on. They called 2 penalties against Los Alamos, marked them off. Now they give the ball to Los Alamos, and now they give it to Nico Garcia coming around the left side. And Nico with a major stiff arm as he just pushes the tackler out of the way. Trying to get to him was Aiden Ortiz. But that wasn't a 4th down play. It was a 3rd down play, so I don't know if they didn't indicate a loss of down or anything.
I want to do a shout out to Aunt Bobby Brooks in Albuquerque. She's tuning in.
Yeah. Hi, Aunt Bobby. How you doing? So the Hilltoppers snap it, and how in the world the Hilltoppers got the ball is beyond me.
I don't know either.
It was a 3rd down play, and so the Hilltoppers that time give it to Seth Cowan. Cowan around the right side, 3rd down play.
He caught that pass.
And Seth Cowan pulls in the pass from Kyle Evanhus. But the Hilltoppers sacked the quarterback on 3rd down. And then you could see right away there was taunting, and then they threw another flag.
I have no idea what happened.
None. So here we go. And on the option, and right now we have another new quarterback for Los Alamos, and this is going to be Luke Gonzalez. And Luke was destined to be quarterback last year, but he got hurt right at the beginning of the season, so he was supposed to play a lot of quarterback last year, and I think this is his first game back, I do believe. I don't think he was back last week. He may have been, but we didn't see him play. But
Good old Josh Uriosi took him down.
So they bring Evan Hoos back at quarterback now for this once again. So Luke ran that one. Evan Hoos dropping back. He got a man wide open in the end zone. And he can't hang on.
Oh,
holy mackerel.
Perfect pass. I thought he had it.
Yeah, that was to Hayden Jorgensen. And he was wide open. Like Debbie says, perfect pass.
He couldn't hang on.
No. Hit him in the chest and it popped straight up in the air. Wow. Well, anyway, so here we go again. So Evan Hoos this time is a slant pat over to Malachi Gutierrez. Gutierrez coming around the right side, takes a spin, breaks a tackle. He's inside the 10-yard line, and we're counting down quick. Well, they're going to Los Alamos. Do not call timeout, Los Alamos, please. They've stopped the clock, and Los Alamos has 3 timeouts, but please do not tell me Los Alamos called a timeout.
I don't know. There's a flag.
Okay. What a surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
Okay.
That Seth Cowan, he did some good moves there. He got away from quite a few people.
Okay, we have an illegal receiver downfield again. That is declined by Pojoaque, and the ball is going to go over to Pojoaque. Did the ball come loose?
I never saw that.
I didn't either. The ball must have come loose, and Pojoaque fell on it because they had an illegal man downfield for Los Alamos, and that is declined by Pojoaque, and they get the ball at the 10-yard line, their own 10-yard line, with 42 seconds remaining.
Wow.
Or wait a minute. Okay, Pojoaque going to get it. Pojoaque's, here comes a Hail Mary. They've got Pacheco out there all by himself. He's got all the receivers you can possibly set up on the line. Here comes a Hail Mary, and that's going to and almost got it to him.
It was close.
Yes, very close. And that was intended for Jeremy Quintana. But everybody who could have been a receiver, so they slammed the ball down. They want one more play.
Barely getting
2
one
seconds
off.
to go. Here comes the final Hail Mary. There's a pass, and that is
intercepted.
I think that's going to be intercepted by Los Alamos. Yes, it is. Teak Nieto.
Wow.
Little short pass up about 10 yards. Teak right there, so that'll do it. Final score 42-0. Hilltoppers win their homecoming game on I must say, a very, very strange game. And we had a lot of crazy things happen, but had some big, big plays by both teams and nullified by penalties. That's the exact same thing that happened 2 weeks ago when the Capitol came here, and we Hilltoppers had about 3 touchdowns called back in that ball game off on penalties, and so. But the Hilltoppers are successful, so a successful homecoming week. The soccer teams win, two girls soccer teams win, the boys soccer team win. Nice big bonfire crowd last night. Nice bonfire, huge crowd for the parade today, and they always turn out big for that homecoming parade. And a big crowd here tonight for this football game. I mean, we packed them in, and that's really great to see that kind of support of Los Alamos High School athletics. And the Hilltoppers, Pojoaque now goes to 0-3 on the season. The Hilltoppers now go to 3-2 for the season. And next week, the Hilltoppers will travel to Academy and to take on the Chargers down there. That's a non-district ball game. That's a Saturday afternoon game. Academy has no lights, so we play on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. But also next Tuesday, there'll be volleyball we'll be on the air for volleyball versus Capital, and that is at Tuesday on the 20th, and the nominal time is 6 o'clock, and of course we all know the games never start at 6 o'clock. But anyway, this is Gene Martinson, and for John McHale and Nate Limback and Mike Mays, who couldn't make it here tonight, and I want to thank Carol Clark for making all this possible, and the Daily Post, and for making it possible. And of course, you're listening to this, so you know how to do it. But anyway, tell your friends that you just get on the Daily Post website. You'll find that little mountain logo for Los Alamos. They have the schedule there below it. But when you want to get on the air with us, you just click on that logo and you'll go right to the YouTube channel. And I especially want to thank Debbie Katko tonight for her help in spotting and helping me with the plays and helping me with the homecoming court and all the other good stuff that she did. So thank you, Debbie, for your help. I really do appreciate it. And it was a big, big help tonight, having to do this ball game all by myself. And then Debbie right there, keeping me on the straight and narrow. So anyway, that'll do it for us. So happy homecoming, everybody. And so this is Gene Martinson. And have a great weekend, a great homecoming weekend. You can make an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And happy homecoming, sweetie pie. I wish you were homecoming. That would be great. Bye-bye, everybody, and happy homecoming.